What's good, my people, man? It's your boy Flash Speaks back, man, for another video. We're going to talk about this game, man. This was one of the best games I've seen in a minute. This was a hell of a game. As far as entertainment and drama and everything down to end. Came down to fourth quarter execution. Which team would execute better in the fourth quarter? So, obviously, it was the Chicago Sky who won by a score of 97-92 to take their first win of the season. And it really came in spectacular fashion. And now with the Chicago Sky, they've been playing better. It looks like incrementally each game, and this culminated in their best win. Part of it is, playing against an opponent that's also in a similar type of situation. Though, the last time we saw Dallas against Connecticut, they had a rather impressive victory over Connecticut. Uh, but here they're on the road to come into Chicago, a desperate Chicago team who put together their best of the season so far, and Connecticut or Dallas wasn't able to overcome them. All right, so let's see, man. Overall, like I said, this was the best game for Chicago. 28 assists as a team that was good, especially when you look at that fourth quarter execution. This was the difference. We saw one team kind of go to one-on-one ball with Arike, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute because I don't blame Arike in this situation for the way she played down the stretch. I really don't. Now I know some people are going to try to blame it on her. She played like a knucklehead at the end and all of that. I'm going to tell you why I would disagree with them. Okay, where Chicago, the players out there, shout out to all of them: Camilla Cardoso, Angel Reese, Courtney Vandersloot, Ariel Atkins, and I believe the other one was Rebecca Allen. That five that was out there to end. Shout out to them because they were the more poised team. They were poised. And I got to give Tyler Marsh, I don't know if he called it the exact play or I don't know if he had set up the spacing, whatever it was. But when they came out there and that last play they executed was excellent, where that led to, you know, I believe it went from Sloot to Angel, and then Angel had bounced past it out to, was it Allen? And then Allen passed it to Ariel, and then Ariel, it faked DJ and then went and closed it out with the midi. That was a thing of beauty, and that's what won them the game. But overall, they shared the ball a lot better tonight. 28 assists, like I said. I'm thinking that's probably the most they've had all year. To have 28 assisted shots out of your 79 shots is pretty good. From the floor, Dallas actually shot better from the floor, 51% to Chicago's 46%. From three was almost even. Chicago had ten made threes, whereas Dallas had eight. Uh, at the free throw line, uh, Chicago had 17 free throws attempted, made 13 of them. Goodness gracious, 210 for Dallas. Uh, Now Dallas won the rebounding. It was kind of close. 34-30. Uh, Points in the paint. Chicago won that 4-by-4. Fast break points were dead even at 16. Okay, so like this really literally came down to fourth quarter execution. All right, Dallas came out. I'm sorry, Chicago come out hot. All right, he won in the first quarter, 29 points in the first quarter. That's probably the best first quarter I've seen Chicago have. Dallas had 19 points. Dallas goes and they win the second quarter. Right, so Chicago they go in at halftime with a lead, but it's a short lead. Okay, um, it was that third quarter where Dallas really took a commanding lead of the game, but that fourth quarter is where Chicago really put it away. And I'm telling you, it was really the last 3 minutes of the game. And we're gonna talk about it here, the play of different players. Um, First, the most spectacular player in the game was absolutely Arike Gumbawale. Okay, Arike was spectacular. Had her best game of the season so far. She was 14 of 25 from the field for 37 points. Had six 3 pointers and 6 out of 12. That's 50%. And she was just really spectacular. I mean, just all over the place, making all the difficult shots that Arike makes. She was getting to the hole. She had that burst, had the speed. Pretty much was she was just spectacular. Best player on the floor. Definitely for Dallas. Paige Beckers and DJ Carrington also contributed well. Paige was great for the most part throughout the game. I mean, really directing traffic, slowing down the pace, leading the transition. She was got 3 blocks, got 3 steals. Make no mistake, Paige Beckers had a good game today. That's 15 points. Um, 5 total rebounds, 8 assists. Okay, 3 blocks, 3 steals. Okay, for +7. We're not going to sit and act like she was bad at all. She was 6 of 11 from the field, so that's over 50%. Very efficient, very good game. Earlier on in the game, my main concern was her. They have Courtney Vandersloot matched up on her. They pretty much hunted. Paige could get whatever she want. I mean, she was hitting those middies pretty much whenever she wanted them. Could get past her. She was setting up teammates however she wanted. It was like a problem. Okay. Now the adjustment that Tyler Marsh made, and I got to give him credit for, was at the end of the game he put Rebecca Allen on Paige Beckers, which caused her a little bit more problems because Rebecca Allen, not though she's a little slow foot, she's tall and longer, similar to those ladies out there in Minnesota. I think she caused similar issues to Paige, caused Paige to have an uncharacteristic turnover down the stretch. I think it was around the 3.5 minute period. It was a ridiculous turnover by Paige, who really only had 3 all day, but that particular turnover was very costly at the wrong time. So these are things that the rookies just gotta look out for. Pay attention to, man. Um, Now, as far as Chicago goes, okay, Chicago got out to that big lead because Camila Cardoso was dominant. Really, in that first half, that first quarter, she had 12 points. Okay, so by far, this is her best game of the season. She also chipped in 18 rebounds, and was just a big body. Had the matchup advantage out there. They really had no answer for Camilla's size, especially when you get the ball to her in her spots. When she's really deep in the post and those areas where there's really nothing you can do about 6'7". They really don't have anybody there that can match her. So Camilla was dominant. This helped get us out, Chicago out to a big lead. Courtney Vandersloot was horrible on defense, but she was solid on offense. 9 assists. Actually, Courtney Vander ended up with 5 steals. This is interesting. How you can have 5 steals but a horrible defensive game. She's a -1 with 5 steals. It's interesting, but she was, like I said, she was being hunted whenever DJ Carrington was had Sloot on her. She was cooking. DJ Carrington was cooking her. Got off to a good start early in the game. Paige Becker was getting whatever she wanted. Courtney Vandersloot. So they tried a number of different things. They would put Kia Nurse on Beckers for a time. That didn't work as well. It was Rebecca Allen in the end that I think had the most effectiveness. It wasn't like it completely stopped her, but it caused her more problems than the others. Okay. So that's what she's going to look out for. Teams are going to look for those guards that fit that mold to try to slow down Paige. Uh, Rebecca Allen was the best off the bench, 13 points. She was 3 of 6 from 3, so they're going to have to really do that. I like the adjustment that Tyler Marsh made, where Rachel Banham only got 4 minutes and Rebecca Allen had 23 minutes. That was probably the major difference. Also, Haley Van Lith was, I think, the second player to come off the bench that he used. He used her over Rachel Banham. Great. Rachel Banham was 1 of 2 tonight, but 4 minutes. That's about right. So I'm going to give Tyler Marsh credit for that. making that adjustment. And E will was solid again. Michaela Onyenwere gave us a good 14 minutes. She was 3 or 5 from the floor, hit a 3 pointer. Made some of her usual mistakes there, but her 7 points were useful. She was solid today. Especially if you talk about coming off the bench. Yeah, 3 assists, so that means she's playing within the offense well. So you have no problem with that. Now, when we talk about the actual story of the game, we talk about the story of the game. We had a really really close game. They were on the seesaw going down to the last 2.5 to about 3 minutes. Okay, now what happened in the last 2.5 to 3 minutes was it came down to which team was going to make less mistakes, which team was going to execute. Okay, and I'm really proud of the way the Chicago Sky executed down the stretch. They have players, man, that were much more poised, and this is where experience does come into play. A lot of us, we criticize Marsh for, picking up the key nurses and the Rebecca Allenses, and some criticizing Atkins and so on. But these are instances where that comes into play. Uh, Players like Atkins who have championships, players like Vandersloot who have championships, they are poised. Even Angel Reese, she's a player that has won at the college level. These players are more poised. Um, Whereas what was happening with Dallas, they were in shambles. Okay, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I don't. We don't play these games here. Uh, Dallas was not executing, like they weren't running plays, sharing the ball, and all those things down the stretch. But I'm gonna tell you why I don't blame Arike. Okay, Arike was the only player down the stretch that was hitting any shots. Okay, there was a seesaw going on for that last 3 minutes. Okay, and Arike was hitting shots. She hit a three. She was hitting minis. She was doing all these different things. Paige Beckers, that's my girl. You all know. I think she's going to be great. Going to be a top player in the league. I don't see flaws in her game, but she has this one area in her game that to me is an incomplete. Is an eye. And she gets an eye grade, and that is killer instinct, finisher. That isn't it. That I'm not going to say she's not, but it's a question mark. And then tonight she didn't do anything to help me put that on her resume as such. Um, she had opportunities in the game, to go score. She misses a midi. Later on, when the game is a 5 point lead at this point, she misses a 3 pointer, right? Whereas Rike is kind of scoring to keep it going. And I can even tell just the body language at certain points at the end of that game when you saw Enrique going over to DJ and they telling her, all right, look, we need to do this, we going to do that. Paige stand off to the side, um, not really wanting any parts of what was going on. I'm going to keep it real. She was acting like she didn't want no parts of what was going on at the end of the game. And I don't hold that against her necessarily. Enrique Iguodala, you talking about the veteran who's been in these situations more, been in the league longer. That's supposed to be her role right now. Matter of fact, Enrique is supposed to be the better player. She is the better player. Okay, and this goes into the conversations that we've been having before. There's many people I know, bringing up the conversation. Can these two play together? If Enrique doesn't buy in, Enrique's going to have to get traded. They can't work together. See, this is why I never got into that. Right? No, the best thing for the Dallas Wings is if they work this thing out, let these two develop some type of chemistry because they can be so dangerous. I can see at certain points of the game where they were dominating, okay? But I can tell in the closing moments, right now, you need Enrique to handle those moments and those situations right now until Paige develops that, She just needs a little bit more reps, needs more games under her belt, needs to develop more of an attitude of like, I'm a killer attitude, which I'm not seeing yet. Not saying she doesn't have it. I'm just not seeing it yet. And That's just the honest to God truth about that. Um, so so with that said, man, good job to the Chicago Sky. They pick up their first win. They get to play Dallas again, so hey, it's a chance to grab another one. Um, let's see. After that, uh, on the Knicks beat the Pacers. Okay, that's interesting. All right. So, what are they up? They're about to win. All right. So I'm trying to see who do Chicago play next. Let's see here. Well, I know they play Dallas next, but after that, oh man, that's the Fever. Okay, so that should be the Fever without Clark, right? That should be the Fever without Clark. Okay. Uh, After Dallas, right? But then they get the Aces and then the Lynx. Oh man. So whatever the case may be, man. They get the first win. Need to go out there, try to beat them again to see if they can get something going. They've been looking better incrementally. I'm still not. I'm still seeing some things I don't like. There were times where I didn't like Marsh's rotation. There's times where I think he should do a better job of putting in a rotation that matches the other team. He just seems to go with his rotation, and by that I mean there are times where I saw the Dallas Wings with their starters out there. Carringtons and Arike's and Pages, and Tyler Marsh going out there with his bench. Van Liffel I like, of course, but then there's Rebecca Allen and there's Michaela E. Will, and they're going up against Dallas starters. That I think he needs to adjust that. Um, Sometimes if you got to play your starters longer, you just have to play your starters longer. Like you don't have to stick to that particular script. Little stuff like that. Where I'm still seeing that I don't think is perfect, or that I don't think is good. But hey, man, overall a win is a win. Definitely feel better than you do if you lose. So hopefully we can build off this, man. And look, man, go Sky. Peace.